They know everything that I am telling you here today. They know it. They just never want you to know it. Whether you're a Black Christian, Jew, Hebrew, or Bantu Israelite, you need to watch this video. And just to get straight to the point, we've been tricked, we've been lied to, and it's time to wake up. The more you read scripture, the more this will make sense to you, but the more you might fight it. Because we've been lied to for so long, and we've been lied to about so many things that the truth is often more unbelievable than the lie. Africa is the Holy Land, point blank, period. And I know the first thing that you guys are going to say to me is read your scripture. So let's start there. Let's go to the Old Testament, Genesis 15:18. So those who kind of know scripture knows Abraham, or Abram, our father, right? Who the Lord made the covenant with, right? And who he said, your children's children, and he detailed the promised land, the Holy Land, what this whole video is about, right? So everyone is going to go to Genesis 15:18. So pull it up. I'll put it up here as well. Everyone interprets it as from Egypt to Euphrates River, and we've been taught that the Euphrates River is in the Middle East, in the Levant. Who taught us that? Let's start there. And then after we sit on that for a second, did you know that the Euphrates River, pull up a map, was located between Nigeria and Ghana? And there are dozens of maps, dozens of books, hundreds of years ago detailing the Euphrates River in between Nigeria and Ghana. So now we're learning that a second Euphrates River was created in the Middle East. And so we're not foolish to have thought this whole time that the Promised Land is from Egypt to the Middle East, which would detail Israel, right? Now we know, and I'm going to give you guys all the links to where you can go research this yourself. I do not believe you just to trust me. I will let you know who my sources are because they are way more detailed. They have a lot more information. I'm just giving you the high-level cliff notes, right? Because we can't be walking around asleep anymore. We've been tricked for too long. I myself have went through from Christianity to Hebrew Israelite to Bantu Israelite once I realized the truth of who we are and put all the pieces together. So, let's get right into it. This is going to be quick because there are plenty of other videos I'm going to put in the description below of where you can go to find videos about this. Okay, so quickly. So we're not even going to get into the whole Egypt to the Euphrates River because I think we're all aware right now that Egypt is in Africa, right? Because there was hundreds of years where Egyptologists and white archaeologists were trying to convince us that Egypt wasn't in Africa. But I think they gave up on that. We're clear. The Egyptians at that point in time were blacker than black. Not like Egypt now. That's had so many invasions and been mixed with so many different races. But in those times that these scriptures are written of, we know what Egyptians look like. Okay. And we know where Egypt was. Okay. Africa. Title of this video. Now we know that the top of the Promised Land is from Egypt going inward to the continent. Second one I want us to discuss is Genesis 3:10. And this is very interesting because I'm going to scroll right here on the screen all the different versions of the Bible, and you notice how there's something different in almost every one of them. So let's go to the King James Version. Do you notice how it says, so this is detailing when Abraham, same person we were talking about, our ancestor, the person who basically birthed all the children of Israel, if that's what you want to call it, or the chosen people, or really the people of the Bible, us, who we all feel like we descended from, right? And I speak in very layman's terms. I don't get technical. I want children to be able to understand what I'm saying. So I don't mean any disrespect by dumbing everything down, but this is what it is. So in terms of like when people talk about the 12 tribes, father of the 12 tribes, I mean, it depends how far we're going back. Everyone kind of stops at Abram. We can go further to Noah, but okay, let's stop. It says Abraham left out of Egypt, which we know is in Africa, and went up south. Okay, y'all. What's south of Egypt? What is south of Egypt? There's nowhere in the Middle East that is south of Egypt. We can agree with that. And south of Egypt is only still on the continent. So we don't know how far south. But yet we do know how far south he went. Because this is the amazing thing, and this is as a kid, I never understood why I was so detailed and named all the places and narrated who married who and who married who, until I realized now, oh wait, this is just a history book, and this is just like a family tree, and our Creator is letting us know who married who and who married this, so we know, so right now in this time we can piece together the dots on who's who. And a lot of people are like, oh no, but it says it goes up, and people want to stop at up. There's a lot of people, and I'll link some of the videos. Up out of Egypt means the elevation, the topography. So to go going south, you're going up, whether it's up a mountain or up a, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they mean by up. It doesn't necessarily mean north. And when it says going south. So if going to the promised land and where he lived and where he dwelled and all of these people lived was south of Egypt. Okay. We can move on. Oh yeah, I'm not done. I'm just getting started. Okay, so we have Abram going south from Egypt. And some of you are going to say, but some versions say north and some say, well, okay, this is a clue. Anywhere that there's so many different versions that are saying a completely different direction, something is suspect. Something is suspect. So it's either what I'm saying, like what the King James Version says, or what a lot of people want to say because they've changed it to north. And north would take you to where they want us to look, right? They. So you choose who you want to believe. Cool. Next. It goes further. Genesis 13:18. Put it up right here. Abraham is going south to Mamre in Hebron. Cool. Watch this. Let's go into Google Maps. Mamre, South Africa. It still exists today on the continent. Cool. Hebron, South Africa. Still exists in the continent. And there's maps that detail back in a certain time period that Hebron spanned almost South Africa. So basically South Hebron encompassed Mamre. Okay, so we're still on the continent, people. We're still on the continent, even though they never wanted us to know this. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. That's the only way that this video will get out to more people. So we need to spread this word. You need to download this video, and a lot of the videos that I put in the description, download them, keep them on your computers, because at a point in time you might not be able to Google these places, right? I don't need to go into why. Just, you need to know. We're going on Google right now. We're going on tools that I didn't make. We're going on maps that I didn't make. And a lot of these resources were made by them. But we're showing you at a certain point in time, it was detailed how this was so. After a certain period of time, the information started changing, the map started changing, but right now I'm just showing you what still, you can still go into Google and exist. Jerusalem. Jerusalem needs no explanation of the importance to this whole story that we're talking about. Let's Google Jerusalem, South Africa. It's incredible, right? Get this. Bethlehem, our fave, Jesus. We now know his name was not Jesus. And the only reason why I say that is I had to discover that when I realized that my boyfriend actually came to me. He's like, you do know J was a letter that was invented in like the 14th or 15th century, right? So how were your ancestors calling your boy G? I was like, let me go do some research. And in researching all of this, I found all sorts of different truths about Christianity, about all sorts of different things, right? So we really need to look at who is telling us this is what it was, right? And why would we trust those people to tell us who our Father is? So I'm not saying that there wasn't a Jesus. I'm not saying there wasn't like our Father. But things got changed over a certain period of time because they wanted us to know certain things that might not benefit us, that actually might do the opposite. But now we're waking up, and a lot of us are waking up because this is literally an awakening. It is not a coincidence if you're having certain feelings where you're seeking for a deeper truth and a deeper meaning, even connected to your religion. So, Bethlehem. I thought it was going to be in South Africa too. No, very close. Bethlehem, Namibia. You can Google it. Still there on the continent. Okay, because I'm going to have another video, and this is not even just because I'm black and I want everything to be black, but there's a whole nother video on all our faves in the Bible are black, and it details in so many different descriptions in the Bible that we all read and love, in the Torah, whatever you want to call it, blacker than black. Okay, so that's why this actually even makes sense, that basically the whole story took place on the continent, the land of milk and honey. All the animals that are detailed in Noah's Ark, still there on the continent. Those animals aren't very many other places. Okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Bethlehem, Namibia. Okay, so you can see on Google Maps, Bethlehem is still there. So I'm quite aware that this is going to be amazing to some and very disturbing for others. And whatever feeling you're feeling, feel free to comment and I'll talk to you about this. I have no problems people querying, questioning, different things like that. But I only really respond to questions that are about the subject matter. Don't come quote other complete different things and come try to talk me and convince me of something else. Talk to me about these things I'm talking about. Dispute these things I'm talking about. No problem, because I'm just looking for the truth. So if there's something I'm saying that's wrong, please correct me respectfully. Okay, alrighty. So before I even go into a couple more things and like some mind-blowing things that I have coming up, I want to tell the main source of where I got all this information, and I'm thankful to the Most High for leading me to this man that has so many videos on YouTube, Robert Headley. Put his name right here. He probably does about a 2-hour video every single day, y'all, trying to wake us up. Even when I mention in some of these videos white people, does not mean all white people are colonizers, but all colonizers are white people. Okay, okay. let me stick to the topic. We can't be listening to those people, y'all. We can't entrust our enslavers, our oppressors, our colonizers to really teach us the truth about ourselves and our history. Point blank, period. That stops today. And you might be wondering, why is it important to know this information? A lot of our brothers and sisters that know who we are running to a place with a capital I, in the Middle East that is in turmoil right now. And they are getting persecuted, getting treated poorly, getting converted into ways and beliefs that are not our own and are not correct for us. And when I say for us, at the beginning of this video, I'm speaking to Black Christians, Black Jews, Black Hebrew Israelites, Black Bantu Israelites, right? Because other races, I cannot speak to you about your history. I haven't researched your history. I don't know your history. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about what you need to be doing. I know you guys are figured out, and you've figured that out. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. All I'm telling you is my family, my brothers and sisters that have this here melanin, and I'll go into deeper videos. Doesn't mean every single Black person needs to be listening to what I'm saying. I believe everyone should be doing what their ancestors did. So just because my ancestors did this, the Bible story, we have to do these in parts. There's so many different videos. But I'm speaking to people who read the Bible and read the Torah and have the same understanding that I do, that we need to awaken to the truth today. And we need to shout the truth today from every rooftop to our brothers and sisters. Don't turn your energy on someone else, on why you did that, why did you trick us. Like, we know why. We know their plan for us. We've been knowing their plan for us. We need to wake up to the truth. And here we go. I could go on and on because there's so many different things, like Mount Ararat on the continent. And I'll give you right here is the place where you can go look at a lot of the maps that detail, like between, I think it's like the 14th century or certain time periods, that the colonizers, when they came to Africa, they started detailing where everything is. Like, look at this map right here. And we're kind of like Ghana region, West Africa region. What does that say right there? Kingdom of Judah. Same thing. If you know the biblical stories, if you know the biblical names, you know the biblical families, Judah is a very important tribe. Some people say Judah, some people say Yehuda, some people say Judea. That's where Judaism came from. The map showing Kingdom of Judah. And why does it say that? Because when the colonizers come and they come ask people, who are you, who are you, who are you? Let me write it down on the map so I know where Judah, Kingdom of Judah is right here. And that happens to be where, you see how it says the slave coast? Yeah, that's why the majority of Judah got stolen. There are videos of people who are experts in this that detail this. I'm just giving you guys the high level clip notes. There's an interesting video, and I'm going to show you this little clip. South Africa. I'm learning South Africa is a very special place. Very special place. And the thing is, I have always had an adverse reaction to South Africa. South Africa is probably the least places that I ever wanted to go in this world. Why? As a Black kid growing up in Wellesley, Massachusetts, an all-white town in the north, right outside of Boston in Massachusetts, I always knew racism, but Apartheid South Africa was the first in my face traumatic racism that I saw on TV, and I was like, Mommy, what is going on? Why are they treating my brothers and sisters like this? And I remember, and I'm going to probably start crying right now. I don't want to cry, but like, I remember when they fought and ended apartheid, and I remember the first election, and I remember seeing all our brothers and sisters standing in line to vote for days, and I was just crying, and I said, Mommy, I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. And this is like a short story time. I don't normally cry whatsoever, but there's a reason why I feel so connected to those people. I'm coming to find out in all this research and history, they want us to stay out of South Africa. They want us to have that adverse reaction. They want people who are Bantu. I did my DNA test. Part of my DNA is Western Bantu people. There is holy land that we are supposed to occupy, that gives us our spirituality, that our Creator, the Most High, has designated to us. And a certain set of people who, and there's people like Queen Ngningone II, who I thank you, Queen of the Kong people, some people say the Fang people of Gabon, who is waking up the diaspora, and she is roaring, and she is telling facts that she knows. She knows 17 generations of her familial line, every name, and she knows the stories. And a lot of what I've researched lines up exactly to the truths that she's telling us about our history and our past. And they stole our high priests. We know they killed our kings when they were coming for us, right? They came as friends first, and we have to remember that. They came as friends, and they were part of us and witnessed. And Africa was thriving and booming, and the richest empires were in Africa at this point in time. And they started studying, like, how come you guys are so prosperous? How come you, and learning and things like that. And they know what our spirituality meant to us. So when they came in for their strategic plan, and they killed our kings to come steal us, they tortured our priests, and they stole our priests for that spiritual knowledge. That's why all of our spiritual artifacts are cased in European museums, because they know what our spirituality means to us, and they know, being us, knowing who we are and being connected to our Creator, we can't, like, once we're in line with our Creator and everything is great, oh, we're untouchable. So, say that to say, Noah's Ark. Watch this little clip.
Be the real scriptural location, you're about to see photographs to prove it as well. That it's rocky reef and historic wreck sites in the Seaforth area on the False Bay side of the Cape Peninsula near Cape Town in the Western Cape province of so-called South Africa. It says here, these are minor wrecks of some historical interest in a large exposed rock. Point to location that this is the biggest rock close offshore Simon's Town area, and it is unmistakable as a landmark. But why hasn't Google Maps, why didn't they landmark this? Why don't they put this on their Google Maps as Noah's Ark? Why do they only mention it as Ark Rock? Could there be an agenda involved? So again, not only do we have geographical proof, scriptural proof, academic proof, but now we also have archaeological proof of the real Noah's Ark, and actual footage and actual pictures of the wreckage of what's left of Noah's Ark, the remainders of Noah's Ark. But anyway, moving forward, this says here, Ark Rock Barge Wreck. It tells you the wreckage and it gives you the points. There's also the boiler wreck number 1, number 2, 3A, 3B, the piranha wreck right here. Again, this is just going to show you the wreckage of the Ark Rock. Now here's an aerial view of the dive sites around Noah's Ark Rock. Now it says here, the large rock at the site is marked on the SA Navy charts as Noah's Ark. Isn't it interesting that they would even mark it as that, because they know the truth, just like the ancient map marked it within the same region too. Very interesting and suspicious indeed. However, it's commonly referred to by local divers as Ark Rock. Why would it be referred to that? Because they don't want folk knowing that that's the real Noah's Ark location. Also been divers who've been to this area, who've also excavated it and have scouted it out and have shown the same exact thing. So we have witnesses to prove that this area is attributed to the real location of Noah's Ark.
Robert Headley first detailing that False Bay in South Africa is actually really Galilee Sea, and you can still go on Google Maps, and Ark Rock is right there. What is Ark Rock? Let me show you this clip. So there are people showing us, and that site that gentleman was showing us about saying Noah's Ark and things like that, there are white South Africans, and whatever their lineage is, whether they're British, whether they're this, whether they're that, they know everything that I am telling you here today. They know it. They just never want you to know it. And they know, and there are parts of the ark still in those waters, and they know it, and they dive and they see it. Why do you think Cape Town white Afrikaners are fighting to emancipate it? They want our holy land. They know what the power comes from it and what they need to keep us away from. And let me end this video, and I'm going to do a whole nother video on this, but something that I haven't seen anyone on YouTube talking about. And this is a very important. People lose their lives over information. Knowledge, it is that powerful. For you guys to wake up is that powerful, and they'll go to any means to stop it. But we're in different times now, y'all. So that ain't happening. We're good, and you have to know you're good. But anyways, something that when I'm doing all sorts of different research, right? A date struck in my head. I've seen that date before, right? Here's a quick clip of a documentary I suggest everyone watch. It's on YouTube. I'm going to do a whole nother video about it.
At the heart of apartheid is the division of the land. 4 million whites own 86%, leaving 14% for the 18 million blacks. These fragmented areas are called Bantustans or homelands. The aim of apartheid is to clear the white areas of all unwanted non-whites.
Okay, and I'm stopping this here because it says, like, in 1948, they came in bulldozers and bulldozed all the Bantus off of their land, put them in encampments, right? Okay, 1948. Now let me pull up on Google, when was Israel created? Look at that date, y'all. Look at that date. Now, I am not telling you it's 100% a connection, because to make such an allegation, you better know that before you're saying that. But I'm just saying, is it coincidence that in 1948, a certain set of people knew they wanted to create this Israel state, right? And they got sanctioned to do it, and they went and did that up there in Israel. Also, too, in 1903, they had a conference, and they were going to do it on the continent. They were going to make Israel on the continent. And some people say it was Kenya, some people say it was Uganda, but put this up on the screen right here. So that shows something, but I'm not even going to get into that. So they're creating something up here, and we know this is a very much tactic that they still use today. And I say they, like the people like Trump and certain people. They want you looking over here when they're doing something over here. They want you to think that this is where you should be focusing on, when they're actually secretly focusing and taking here. And this, so I'm just saying to you, black people, there's a lot of people who don't look like you that know that Africa is the Holy Land. They will tell you tooth and nail it is somewhere else. But you have to look in the proof in the pudding. And where are they trying to really take Africa? And this YouTube channel, a love of Africa, and I feel like the diaspora needs to go home, and I'm looking to move back to the continent. And so I was researching different places I wanted to live. So I was like, okay, I'll just put this research online in case anyone else is wanting to know the information that I've learned. In doing that research, I thought it's very strange that all the places that I'm looking at to live, only other non-local people that I'm seeing there are white people. And I'm like, this is shocking, because I know there was a propaganda to tell us not to go to Africa, and Africa is poor, and Africa is in a place. We got raised with that fake propaganda. I just assumed white people did too. No. Come to find out, they had a different memo. Because when you look at certain places, even look at this video that I did on São Tomé, Portuguese, that's probably one of their top tourist destinations, okay? And all sorts of different people. I know Sierra Leone, I can't remember, it's Turkish people, certain people. A whole bunch of people love to vacation and live. In Namibia, German town, putting the name of the town right here. There are islands, there are beautiful islands in Africa that are owned by France, Réunion. Where you're actually on sovereign French land. Yeah, wait till you get into this, yeah. Like, so I'm just saying this to say, they taught you to hate Africa. You're supposed to be doing the opposite. Africa is part of our salvation. Africa is part of our freedom. Diaspora, it is time for us to go home. Whether you're going home to live or you're going home to visit, it's time to go. There is healing there. There's healing that we also need to do here. There's a detox. And I'm going to say this in so many videos. Queen Ngningone II, Nubia, the path of return, they are putting us up on game and telling us how to detox from colonization. Certain traits that you picked up that are not your traits. I could go on and on about this, but really watch Robert Headley's videos. I have a couple of videos that are coming up on similar topics to just give you the truth, y'all. That's all I want you to know. A certain set of white people change the location on which you were supposed to looking to return in these prophecy times. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.